This is one of the saddest films ever made, and nothing happens in it. An elderly couple travel from their small coastal town to Tokyo to visit their grown children. The children are busy. That's the entire plot. No murder, no war, no tragedy in the traditional sense, just ordinary people living ordinary lives, slowly drifting away from the people who gave them everything. Yasujirō Ozu made this film in 1953. It's Japanese, it's in black and white, it moves at the pace of an afternoon, and it will wreck you. Not because something terrible happens, but because you will recognize every single person in it. The film ends with a single shot, no dialogue, just a young woman sitting alone watching the sea. And I've been thinking about that shot ever since I first saw it, because I think Ozu is telling us something about our lives that we already know but refuse to admit. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, I think you'll feel it too. Meet Shukichi and Tomi Hirayama. They're in their late 60s. They live in Onomichi, a quiet port town far from the capital. They've raised their children. They've lived their lives. Now they want to see their kids. What Ozu does in the first 15 minutes is something almost no other filmmaker has done as well. He makes you love these two people completely, without a single dramatic scene. He just lets you watch them. The way Shukichi tilts his head when he speaks, the way Tomi laughs at something small, the way they sit next to each other in comfortable silence, two people who have spent 40 years together and still choose to sit close. His camera is always low, level with the floor, looking up slightly, like a child watching the adults. It creates this strange intimacy. You're not observing these people, you're with them, and then their children arrive. Koichi is a doctor, Shig runs a hair salon. They're not bad people. That's the point. They're just busy. They have schedules, responsibilities, a life that has grown around them and left no room for two old people from Onomichi. Ozu never once judges them. He doesn't need to. He just shows you the small moments. A canceled plan. We're sorry. Something came up. A cheap resort hotel, booked not as a gift, but as a way to keep the parents occupied so they don't interrupt the week. A brief, distracted dinner. The father talking, the son nodding, already thinking about something else. Nothing dramatic, nothing cruel in the way we usually mean the word. But watching it, you feel this slow, quiet grief building inside you because these moments aren't fiction. You've been in these moments, on both sides of them. The parents don't complain. They thank their children for everything. They make excuses for them to each other. They're busy, they have their own lives now. And Ozu holds on their faces, just long enough for you to see that they know. They know exactly what's happening, and they've chosen to be gracious about it anyway. And then there's Noriko. Noriko is the widow of Kenji, the Hirayama's son who died in the war. She is not their blood. She has no obligation to them. She has her own grief, her own small apartment, her own life to rebuild. And she is the kindest person in the film. She takes a day off work, which she can't afford, to take Tomi sightseeing around Tokyo. She laughs with them. She listens to them. She makes them feel, for one afternoon, like they matter. This is Ozu's twist of the knife. The person who loves these parents most deeply, who treats them with the most warmth, the most attention, the most genuine care, is the stranger, the outsider, the woman with no reason to love them at all. Later, Shukichi will say to Noriko, "You've been the best to us, of all our children." He means it as a compliment, but think about what it costs him to say that sentence. Think about what it means, that the woman who married the son who died has been kinder than the two children who are still alive. Ozu doesn't let you look away from that. Tomi dies on the journey home. The children rush back for the funeral, and then, quietly, one by one, they leave. They have lives to return to, things to do, and life reasserts itself the way it always does. The film ends on Kyoko, the youngest daughter, who still lives at home, who never left, who is perhaps the only one who truly sees what has happened. She sits alone in the empty house. She watches the sea. Ozu's camera doesn't move, he just holds on her face. I've thought a lot about why Ozu ends there. Not on the father, who has lost the most. Not on Noriko, who was the most gracious. On Kyoko, the youngest, the one who is still at the beginning of her life. I think it's because the film is a warning. Not for the parents, it's too late for them. Not for the older children. They've already made their choices. It's for us. For whoever is watching. Ozu is saying, you are Kyoko right now. You still have time. The first time I watched this film, I just wanted to call my parents. But I just couldn't. I wanted to call them, not because something dramatic had happened, not because of a fight or a scare. Just because I'd seen two old people sitting on a bench in Tokyo, looking at a city that had no room for them anymore, and I recognized something in it that I didn't want to recognize. We tell ourselves there will be time. That next month is better. That they understand. And they do understand. That's the worst part. They understand and they love us anyway, and they make excuses for us to each other on the train ride home. Watch Tokyo Story. Watch it with your parents, if you still can. I am the wandering cinephile. And I will see you in the next film.